What's going on, everybody? This is American Idol Breakdown. I can't even talk because I am an emotional wreck. That was one of the greatest episodes I've ever seen in my life. We got two people going home. At the end of this, I'm going to tell you who my favorite top 10 are. Let's just start talking about the contestants. Let's get started with Slater.
Just give me one thing that I can hold on to believe in this living.
This is exactly what Slater should do. This is one of his best performances of the season, which is something I'm going to say over and over and over again in this breakdown episode. A lot of rasp, a lot of great melodies, and he means it. I believe him. His rasp, the tone of his rasp was really great. It's not just rasp itself, but the tone underneath it is so rich, and it really brings a lot of value there. And just keep doing that, dude. That locked right into what he should be doing. He should do songs just like that for the rest of his life. Not limited to them, but I'm just saying he found his superpower there. Che, who we say goodbye to.
And I'm giving it my all. I'm not the guy you're taking home. I keep dancing.
I'm revealing my top 10 at the very end of this. I hope no one puts too much value in that, because typically, if you're in the top of my list, that is bad news for you. Because most of the time, historically, who I have liked the most goes away quickly, especially when we get into the top 12, top 10 like this. And this is the case. Che was my number one. This was a tough performance from him. First of all, he was already known to be in the bottom 4 when it was 14. So they made the top 10. This was a week or two ago. And then judges say 4 people. Typically, when they vote again, those 4 people are the first 4 out. Again, America doesn't change their mind historically. And Che had a lot going against him here. He was second, which is not where you want to be. And the song choice and the performance was one of the lower ones for me. It was a pop song, and it's a beautiful pop song. And they had some really nice chords going on behind him to just add to the musicality that I feel like is his brand. But the verse was really tough to sing when you're starting really low, like mid-low part of your range near your speaking voice, and it's silent and you're exposed. It's really hard to hold pitch. It's really hard to hold attention because it's just tough to sing right there. It needs a lot more air than higher notes, and it's just tougher. And so that was where we started for the first quarter of the song. So that's tough. You don't have a lot of time to take 25% of the song to be living there. Just we're all waiting to get to the next part is tough. I thought for the very first time the whole season, his runs were a little disconnected from the song, and it felt like they were doing 2 different goals. The song was trying to break our heart, and the runs were trying to show us how good of a singer he was, and they need to be one. And unfortunately, we say goodbye to Che. Thunderstorm.
Ew. They call the eyes and songs.
Sing. Spicy at the top. Loved just him and an acoustic guitar singing the song. Great song choice. Man, Fantasia. I fully blame Fantasia for how amazing this episode was. As soon as I knew that she was the mentor, I knew this was going to be special. There are some mentors that come and are exciting because they're celebrities and they can give some advice. And then there are some mentors that come and change the trajectory of the artist's vision and life when it comes to how they make art. I knew from the beginning Fantasia was going to be one of those people. I got to meet and sing with Fantasia on one of the American Idol finales, and what you see is what you get. She is full of love and personality and God, loves people, and is passionate about what she's singing as much as anyone is that you could ever find. And she's passionate about people, so she really showed the contestants, I think, in a very effective way, how to do what she does, which is connect to the song and bring something really, really magical out. That's more than just notes being sung. That's what we get from, honestly, almost every single contestant in a way that we've never seen it before, including Thunderstorm. His belting notes at the top when he added the rasp were really nice. I've been critical of the tone of his rasping, belting voice before, not this time. I found, for a little trivia, and if he's watching this, for him to remember, A flat, Thunderstorm, if you're watching this, A flat is your golden goose note. It's this one. That note, when he belts that note and adds the rasp in that song, it is breathtaking. And he stays on the A flat and B flat. Those are the two notes that when he's belting, he goes there. And the B flat sounds good, but the A flat, shoo-wee. Colby.
Oh. Dang. Ew.
I don't think anyone is as good as Colby is at the first line. Every time she sings, the first line, the first note is so good. She also has good of a vocal tone as anybody and crafts it so well. Just dips in and out of different vowels and shapes and resonance places, whether it's coming forward or back or wide or up, just changes the sound in her voice, in her mouth so well. And we're getting that, and her pitch is fantastic. Rich tone all the way when she brings it back here. And the only thing I have is the same thing I've said every time, unfortunately, and it's a personal preference. So it's not necessarily gospel. But she just continues to do runs where I don't think they add value. I think they take away value. And especially when it's the same run over and over and over again. Hey, whoa, birds fly over the rainbow. Over and over and over again. She does a couple that are, like the last run was real nice. Lot of special notes. Like they weren't these notes. I don't think they might have been, but just so you can understand what I mean, there's hey versus hey, all these extra colorful notes that are just as easy to hit. That's where you should live, and not necessarily you should do a 10-note run like that all the time, but find these special little notes that are outside of whoa, those 5 notes. 6 if you do the octave like I just did. That's all I want. I just want more variety there. And she's got it. She did it at the end. And there was some crispy, really nice stuff going on. And when she followed the piano at the end, the ending, first of all, was nasty. All those chord changes. And then she just came right. She's very musical singer to follow that piano on the very end.
Ew. Dang.
Nasty. If you want to learn how to play fancy chords like Chris Cooley is playing and make arrangements like this, it's one of my favorite things to do, favorite things to teach. I don't have any openings right now in my one-on-one lessons, but I do have music theory courses so that anyone who wants to know this stuff doesn't have to wait till I have an availability. They can just go and learn. I've got music theory 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 for absolute beginners. 2 for people who don't know necessarily what an F major 9 is. If you have a question about that, then that's for you. 3 for people who want to do passing chords. Okay, cool. We got a C and then an A minor. What if I want to play something between those 2 chords? That's a passing chord. That's what music theory 3 is. Music theory 4 is for, okay, I got a C. I don't want to play C. I want to play something else that sounds really cool and saucy and nasty. That's what substitution chords for. And then we put it all together in music theory 4. Philo.
I'm staying, and you're gonna love me.
We say goodbye to Philo. My number 1 and my number 2, Che and Philo, have been cut, which is a common trend, unfortunately, with my top 10. I thought this was great. His technique is so good. How he goes from chest to mix to falsetto. Such a rich tone. I'm not a fan of the whoo when you're singing and you're gonna love me, whoo. like just randomly going into falsetto and doing that run, same run that I just talked about Colby doing, bum, 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 bum. Not a fan of it. A lot of people are. That's definitely a very personal preference thing. But the end run was great. You want to walk your runs. I know it's called a run, but you want to walk, not necessarily run every time. Where instead of doing 5 notes really, really fast, if you do 5 notes or even 7 notes slowly and you mean every note, it's way more powerful. And that's what he does at the end. The second to last run that he does is just boom, 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 boom. You feel every note and you're anticipating it and it lands really well. One of the greatest singers of the season and one of the greatest singers of Idol in a long time, honestly. And unfortunately, we say goodbye to him. We've got Maddie next. Pitch was perfect. This was a perfect performance from her. I cannot imagine her doing anything else that could have made it any better. Felt like she was connected. All the notes were there. Her tone was great. It was just perfect execution, and there's nothing more that I could say. Kanan. Man, right at the top of this, he started singing and he did a run and it was like, all my life you have been faithful. He did something like that. And you could tell that he was thinking about the goodness of God in his life when he sang the run. There's something special when it really connects like that. The feeling, the emotion of the song informs the artistic expression. And that's what he did there. And it was so special. 90% of this was ultra, ultra, ultra connected and really meaningful. The 10% that I thought was a departure of that was when he stood up and it was like, all right, time to do the gospel up big thing. Like, is there anybody out there? No. Like, okay, now that's what we got to do. Let's go for it. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I just felt like he departed from really thinking about the song, and it was okay, now this is the next section of the song where I sing really loud and do runs and stuff. Very small portion of the song. Overall, this was one of my favorite performances of the whole season from him. But if he could just find a way to connect even those moments when he's walking around, kind of like we said last episode, it would be even more powerful. 3 or 4 different things that I've found from teaching singers and being around singers that most of us don't do and don't know that would instantly improve our voice and our performance ability today. It makes sure that you're singing to your full potential with what you have today. You can work on your voice and get better, but also you can do some things immediately that will give you change right now. That's what I made the Vocal Foundations course for. I've got the links for that below. And if you get in there and you watch the video and you're like, I knew this, then just ask for your money back, give it to you. I'm not trying to steal from anybody. I just want to help you. Gabby.
I've acted out my life on stages with 10,000 of a true love. Now I'm so much better. If
Oh, dear Lord.
I was crying almost the whole episode, starting with Gabby. And my goodness, her pre-performance video package, the mentor session with Fantasia, and just seeing how authentic, I felt like we really got to see Gabby in that and how humble she is. And I think Fantasia said she's very shy. We saw that a little bit, and it's so endearing, especially when you're a monster like she is vocally. And then she did her performance. That's the best performance I've ever seen on American Idol. That's one of the best vocal performances I've ever heard, ever. I don't even know what to say. From the power to the tone to the dynamic choices, to the emotional connection. It's one of those at the end, I'm like, oh my gosh, just land the plane. You're perfect. Everything's perfect. This is going to go down as one of the greatest performances of all time. Just land. And she did. And you can stack that. I don't care who you bring to the table. You can stack that right next to any performance ever. And there's no way that you can find a performance that would objectively be better. Nope. There are a lot of singers in this season that I hear them sing. I'm like, oh my gosh, it would be so much fun to sing with them. Not Gabby. Absolutely not. It would not be fun to sing with her, because if she started singing, first of all, I would just want to listen. I would not want to sing, but I think she would just drive me into the ground vocally. For that comparison, to hear that, I'm like, I don't want to sing. I'm not going to sing next to her. No. Nuh-uh. Let her do her thing. Find Fantasia to sing with her. I'm not singing with her. She's so terrifyingly good. Oh man, she is blowing my mind. I really feel like she is taking gigantic leaps over the past couple weeks. And she said, I think I'm finding myself, and got teary, which made me get teary. I am so Team Gabby, and I think America is too. Let's talk about Josh. Let's go! Stayed on the piano, and Fantasia, bless God for Fantasia. Fantasia was like, yeah, you stay on the piano. Don't get up. You want to get up and go, stay there. Stay there. Stay where you're comfortable. I'm so glad that happened. I'm so glad we finally got Josh on piano. And I'm glad I'm not the only one who was like, get on the piano and freaking stay there. I think it would have been fine, honestly, though, for the record, if he would have gotten up. But I'm glad he didn't. Another moment where I start crying, when he starts crying. And I'm telling you guys, he's given us a great picture of this in a way that I don't know if we've ever seen on American Idol. But what I'm trying to tell you is the relationships that you get with contestants on this wild journey is unlike any other relationship you've ever had or ever will have ever. Ever. And it is so rich. It is so fun. And it is so incredible. And the emotion that we see there shows us that, and it's real. And I don't think anyone has a question about the authenticity of that emotion. And we see it draped over every note of his performance, and we are better for it. I'm so proud, man. When we were working together for the season, I, of course, like I do in this episode and the Idol breakdown, and with almost everything I do, I'm preaching. You got to feel it. It's got to mean something to you. How are you connecting while you're singing the song? We need to think that you're actually going through the thing you're singing about. I say all these things. You guys have heard me say all these things a million times. And it was always one of those things where he was so good. That was the last thing to really lock into place. And buddy, did it lock into place. This was, oh man. And you know what? It was so powerful. He did the impossible. He raised himself from the dead because he was in the bottom 4 of the 14. He was not voted into the top 10. And he got out of that grave. I'm dancing out of the grave. This is such a Christian season. He got out of the grave from the resurrection power of the piano and the emotion and America falling in love with him. He made it out. And I'm telling you, that's why. Not just because of the piano, but because of the emotional connection. Let's talk about Brianna. Brianna says, I was reading comments, which first of all, why would you do that? I've gotten to talk to Brianna a bit, and I've said this so many times to her and any contestant that I talk to. Dear Father in heaven, stop that. Do not. There is negative value only on reading comments by randos. I don't think they should even watch this episode, any of these breakdowns. And I've told them all that, whether in person or in the video themselves. But if you're gonna look for people who, have experience in music and you respect what they know and what they do and you want to hear their critique, okay. I still don't think you should watch a video like this because the video is not for you. The video is for viewers, fans like us. And it's just not a good format to really receive that critique. But you're gonna look at comments from randos, from From trolls, oh my gosh, please don't ever, like Carrie said, post and ghost, dude. The fact that she said she saw a comment is like, oh, I guess she's not a Christian anymore, and it destroyed her. Girl, who was that? Who was that? Some, for lack of, okay, there's not many things that make me want to cuss in public, but that's one of them. An uninformed, truly lost soul and child of God. That's who that person is. And you should pay them absolutely no mind. I keep saying she's making great song choices, and I think it's because almost any song works for her as long as there's a big belting moment, or not moment, but chorus, honestly. And almost every song has a belting chorus. I would say the vast majority of songs that are done on Idol has that moment. So there are tons of songs, and they're a great song choice because she's great, and she can execute that very common attribute of songs. So she's kind of batting 1,000 lately. She's got a ton of confidence. I love to see her stepping into that. She's doing great. When she made it through, I will say she was out of there fast. No hug to Philo, no hug to Che. She just gone running, screaming, thank you, Jesus, which good for her. It's a celebratory moment. But I was like, hey, your people, dude, they just left. You don't want to hug them and say bye. It's an awkward moment. So maybe she was just like, I don't know how to be I don't want to celebrate in their face. I don't know. But I was like, come on, dude, go hug your people. Jamal.
Tell me something, man. Tell me something,
Buddy. He said, I don't know the song very well. I've never sung it before. I just need to insert myself into the song. And that's why he's so special. That's why he's so special, because he embodies in every performance this key of singing, which is insert yourself into the song and then let the tools you have, your range, your runs, your tone, all the tools that you have vocally, let them do what they do. But all you have to do is insert yourself into the song and mean it and feel it, and then just go. And you can't make a bad choice. You can miss runs and no one cares. Like Josh, there were some missed notes or runs or little things here, but nobody cared. The performance actually itself was upstaged by the emotion and the message of what was before, what was during, and what was after his performance. And if you can bring that to every performance, you're winning and you're not gonna miss. And that's what Jamal gives us pretty much every single time, especially here. And when Fantasia said, I don't know your story, but hearing you sing, I know there is one. Stop. God, it's perfect. I can't imagine a better example of what I've been trying to say. God bless Fantasia. And the ending with silence, that was so boss. That was so bad to the bone, because he ended and we were like, is it over? Is there something else? And he didn't break. He didn't break character. He didn't go, thank you. When a song is over and I don't, like, people don't know, there's not applause or waiting, I usually just go, thank you. So then like, okay, I can clap now. And he was like, no, I'm just gonna sit right here. You know how we knew the song was over? Because the lights. And then people were like, oh, snap. That he just held us like that. And that's exactly what he did. Golly, that was powerful. That was my favorite performance from Jamal this season. One of my favorite performances of anybody on the whole season. If I took my top 5 favorite performances, he'd probably have 3 of them. And then we've got John.
I told you so. Oh, I told you so.
John does what John does. He sings perfectly. He connects to the song. He delivers. He has a good arrangement. He gets up and walks. That was really nice. We're seeing who he is. I feel like I'm learning about him when he sings. I think it was something that Luke said about another contestant, and I'm just stealing that forever now. I don't really have much to say about him. There's nothing I could possibly critique. He's just right on the money every time. Like I mentioned before, we say goodbye to Che and Philo, which again were my number 1 and my number 2. So let me tell you my new top 10. Number 1, we have a new number 1, obviously, but a gigantic riser, and it's Gabby. It's Gabby. in the very beginning when I made these lists, I don't even think she made the top 12. And now she's my number 1 because of the leaps that she's made. She's just who I'm looking forward to seeing every single time. She's my number 1. Number 2 is Jamal, who's right there. I mean, right, that you could interchange these two pretty easily. Then there's Thunderstorm. Why? Because he makes me feel. And he has dynamic power that just gets me. Then Brianna, and then Josh. And then we've got Colby, who is really stepping up for me. Just take away those filler runs, and I think she would go right up with Jamal and Gabby because she's got all the talent that they do. That's just the one thing that keeps me almost like a stiff arm from keeping me like all the way in to her performances. Just like, oh, just kidding. Oh, this run again. Oh, never mind. I'm not like dying, but still, I mean, she's number 6 of 10 for me, which is great because all these singers could be number 1 in other seasons for me. Slater at 7. Really stepping into his own. Historically, he wins. If we're just looking at patterns in the past and go like, all right, who do we think is going to win strictly on trends of past seasons? That's Slater. So hard. So Slater. Because so many times where there are monster singers, they never win. And then it's that guy that comes in and wins. And he would deserve it. He is so fantastic, bringing so much to every performance and also finding out who he really is and stepping into his superpower. Then I've got Maddie, and then number 9 is Kanan, and then number 10 is John. And it's funny because John is the most consistent contestant of the season. He's the most consistent. He's batting 1,000. He never misses. It's just a preference on genre. That's really it for me. Not a big country fan. And that's it. He's fantastic. If he won, I would be like, yep, I'm totally fine with that. There is nobody here. Honestly, there wasn't really anyone in the top 24 that if they won, I'd have been like, I don't know. All of them are worthy of it. I do like how we're not just cutting like 8 people every show. Feels like we're getting to know these contestants and we've got some time with them. Looking forward to that. But even more important than that, it's important that you know it is not the critic who counts. The credit belongs to the one who's actually in the arena, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst fails while daring greatly. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.